Hi everyone and welcome to the TheCryptoRat channel, and today we are going to take a look at Etherscan. Now a lot of you may have used Etherscan mainly when you're doing transactions on MetaMask or checking a transaction's gone through, but there's actually so much more it can do. So what I'm going to do today is just talk through a few things just to give you an idea of some of the power of Etherscan. So I will move my video down so I'm not in the way of the screen. Right, so just to start, we'll go to the homepage of Etherscan. So what you can see on there is the landing page. You've got some real basic stuff on there that you can pick up from other sites like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. So initially you've got the Ether price, so you can see the cost of Ethereum at the moment, any price changes and so on. You've also got the overall market cap of Ethereum. And the other bits you've got on there are transactions. You can see that since Ethereum came into being, there have been over 1 billion transactions that have taken place, which is pretty phenomenal. You've also got things like the current median gas price, hash rate, and difficulty to actually mine blocks. So there's a couple of things with that. So when you look at the hash rate, this is the amount of power that all of the miners of Ethereum actually put into the network. So the higher the miner power, the higher the hash rate will be to actually mine. You've also got the Ethereum transaction history over the last 14 days. So this actually gives you the cost of Ethereum, how many transactions have actually taken place on each individual day, and you can click on that at any point to see all of those transactions that took place on that day. So if we take a quick look at the gas price, so this is quite interesting. This gives you the current price the gas will be, and you can see on there it's quite cheap at the moment by comparison to maybe a couple of months ago. And you can see the cost of different types of transactions as well. So if you look down here, you've got the difference between doing something on Uniswap, transferring stuff between wallets, adding, removing liquidity, and so on. And I remember a Uniswap swap that I was looking at doing a couple of months ago, and it actually cost me about $45 by comparison. So you can see the price has come down quite a lot. And you can see on the right as well the different price for the individual blocks. So the interesting thing here, when you do look at the price, is you can see, again, it might be quite an obvious statement, but you can see the more gas that you actually put into transactions, the quicker they'll actually take place. So you can see here, if you have a transaction you want to go through particularly fast, then what you might do is increase the number. Now, the other thing to bear in mind with this is the fee that's paid to the miner. So in order to get a transaction into a block, you're jostling with other people. So if you're putting a price that's like an average compared to other people, you're almost going into a lottery to get added to that block. Whereas the higher you put it, the less competition you've got, which you can see here. So if we go back, so the first thing is you can see the different transactions and blocks that have gone through. So what we'll do, we'll take the first block on the left. What you'll see with this as well is you'll generally get the name of the miner as well as the block. And the interesting thing about this is the majority of those that you'll see will be the big mining pools, and I'll show you something that will illustrate that a little bit later. So if we pick this, we'll pick the Spark pool block. Okay, so what you can see on here, a couple of things. The first thing is how many transactions the block actually contains. And there are two types of transactions. You've got the normal transactions, and then you've got the contract call transactions, and that's when someone calls a smart contract, and that will be stuff like you can see it on here, Uniswap. You might have some OpenSea, on there. Yeah, there's some OpenSea. So you've got various transactions which are smart contract calls, and then you've got your standard transactions on the left. So we'll go into that. Okay, so what you can see on here is a few things. So the first thing is you've got the right hand side, you can see the transaction fee that's actually being paid to the miner. So you can see all of those added up, and on the first page you'll see the overall price of these. You can also see where it's gone from and where it's been sent to, and the value of the transaction as well. You've also got the method, and if I hover over that, that tells you exactly what that's actually for. So if we move back one, so there's a couple of other things you can see on this. So if I scroll down a little bit, I was talking about fees and the reward for mining. So the first thing you'll see on here is that's the overall reward for that miner mining this block. And that's made up of two things. It's the standard fee for mining the block, which is 2 Ethereum. And then you've got the combined total of all of the transaction fees that individuals have paid, and that all then goes to the miner. You can see the difficulty of the block as well, the size of it, and how much gas was actually put in as a limit and what actually was used. So already talked about that, but if I scroll up, the other thing to bear in mind is each of the question marks on the left hand side, if you're not sure what something is, that actually tells you what it is you're looking at. Now there is quite an interesting trick you can do with this. So if you go to the URL, you can actually change the block number at the top to block number 1. So block number 1 is the first block that was ever mined on Ethereum, and you can actually see on there how long ago it was, what the block reward was, difficulty, and so on. So a little bit of history there. You can also, if you change that by using the left and right arrow, you can actually go back to the original Genesis block for Ethereum. So not that you can do much with it, but just an interesting fact for that. So if we move back, there are a couple of other things you can do. Token wise, you might actually be interested in a particular token. So if we take a look at synthetics token, which is SNX ticker. So what you can see on there is it will give you a list of all the different tokens that are ERC20 tokens. And if we go to the synthetics token, okay, so a few things you can see on here. The first thing is you'll get the price of the token. You get the overall market cap, maximum total supply, and we'll come back to this bit, which is the number of holders. You also get the contract address, so if you were looking to add it into MetaMask or anything like that, you can put the contract details in and link to their official site. So if we scroll down a little bit, the other thing you can see is all of the transactions that have taken place for synthetics token and where they've come from or gone to. And there's a mix on what you'll have is if they've been sent to Uniswap or they've come back from Uniswap, that'll be clear on here as well. So the other thing you can look at, so yeah, you can see there, that means the token has been sold if it's from Uniswap on the left. Okay, so the other thing you can see if you click on holders is you can actually see how many tokens are being held by individuals. Now, the first thing I'd say is you will find that a lot of the bigger ones aren't individuals; they're actually used for different purposes by the team or whatever. As you scroll down, you'll also see who are the whales. So you can see the number of synthetics tokens held. And you've got some obvious ones, like a lot of the big exchanges are likely to be these ones as well, like Binance, Sushi. So you can see quite a lot of them on there. But you can see how it's actually divided up. So The other thing you can look at, if we go back to the home page, if you're interested in charts and things like that, there's another really good option in here called resources. So if you go into resources, what this will actually give you is pretty much any chart or bit of information that you might want to know. So if we take a look down from here, so you've got all the obvious ones like how the price has changed, and you can see that, obviously you can see the big spike when it went up to 4,000, which was the peak there on May the 11th, 4,181. If we go back one, there's also some other quite interesting ones. So if you look at, if we go down a little bit, yes, you can see the difficulty. You can also see the top miners by block. So if you click on that, so where we were looking at the blocks earlier, we looked at Spark Pool, so you can see how many blocks they've mined. The biggest one is Ethermine, which accounts for over 25% of the mining. Now these aren't individuals, by the way. This is a pool where you've got a number of people contributing the hash power to solve the transaction hash, and then any of the rewards that come from that will be divided out amongst the pool. So that is that. The other interesting thing you will see is the node tracker. So you can see the different nodes, and if you scroll down a little bit, there's quite a nice little picture that shows you where the majority of these are. So you've got the US has got nearly 2,000, Canada, UK, which is where I'm based, and Germany's one of the bigger ones for Europe as well. So it's quite interesting, and obviously as you look around you can see different there we go, different node holders and so on. Let's come back out of that. Okay, so there's quite a lot of stuff, but if you're into charts or statistics, you've literally got anything you might want to see that's on there. Okay, so that's the standard stuff. The other thing that is quite interesting is you might actually want to track your own wallet. So if you've got a MetaMask or Coinbase wallet or anything like that, you might actually want to get a notification if any transactions have taken place in that wallet. You also might want to track a certain wallet and see what the content of it is. Now, what I've done from the landing page, I actually picked one of the mining pools and just took an average transaction out of it, and I'll there we go. So what you'd actually do, and you need to actually log in. You need to have an account to do this, and it is free to register. But what you would actually do is go into the watch list, and then you can actually add an Ethereum address to follow. So what you would do with this, and as I said, it's a random wallet, is you can actually set a notification for any transactions. Now, there is one thing that some people would do with security. So if they had their private keys written down in something like a stone book or some other method, what they would do is they'd write a wallet address on the first page, and then they might have the rest of the wallet addresses maybe concealed some way. And what this would do is if someone steals your private keys, if it is in the stone book, enters that into to set up your wallet to drain your wallet of keys. As soon as they've taken it and you've got a nominal amount in that wallet, as soon as they transact on it, you'd get a notification, an email that tells you that someone's stolen it and they're transacting on your wallet, assuming you're not sitting in front of your computer doing it. And that would be a really good indication that actually I need to secure all of the rest of my crypto. So you can do that. Various different ways you can do it, but we won't go into that for now. So the address that I've put in there, I said it would show you what's in there. So the address that I picked, the random wallet, you can actually see the balance of the wallet. So Ethereum wise, they've only got around $36 of Ethereum in there, 36, 37. But what you can also see on there is the other tokens they hold that are ERC20. and they've got just over $12,000 worth of crypto within that wallet. So you can see all of the different cryptos they've got in there. Some USDC, some Polkastarter, and so on. You can also click on the address of that wallet, and what that'll actually show you, if I scroll down, is that'll actually show you, yeah, they've transacted on this recently, so that'll actually show you what they've done in there, and you can see the different transactions that have taken place. So I will go back one now and refresh that. So the other thing you can see, because I keyed this in earlier, there's actually been more Ethereum added into the wallet for things like transaction fees, so they've obviously done some transactions on there. So, and you can add as many of these as you want. I think it says up there about 25, but I'd be surprised if you need to track more than 25 wallets. And really, just for a basic introduction to what Etherscan can do for you, that is it. So I really hope it's been useful. As I said, there's a lot more stuff you can do. This is just some of the high level stuff, just to give you an idea. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, smash the subscribe button, and if you give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it as well. But thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.